Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where yesterday we featured on the channel a very approachable puzzle by James Sinclair, which loads of you loved, and I'm not surprised, it's an absolute beauty. And today we have another approachable puzzle, so well done. I am fully on board with constructors making beautiful Sudokus that everyone can have a go at, where you don't have to have, a whole wealth and bank of Sudoku experience in order to get through them. And this puzzle apparently is really, really beautiful. It's called Cascade. It's by Scojo. And we're doing it today because it is Scojo's mother's birthday. So many happy returns to Sue. I know Sue watches all of Scojo's features, so I hope this one will be a nice thing to do on your birthday. And of course, Sue, I hope you have chocolate cake. Just 1 star out of 5 for difficulty for this puzzle. But the tester said it is extremely beautiful. So I'm hoping it'll be just like James's puzzle yesterday, which was a lovely puzzle for me to do yesterday afternoon after the battle royal I had with Emre Kalotoglu's puzzle Region Geometry. I think I've still got the tab. Yeah, I've still got the tab open. This puzzle. Do check this out if you want an absolute brain wrecker of a Sudoku. You can see there's no regions in this, and there's some weird skyscraper and numbered room clues interacting. It is undoubtedly, that puzzle, one of the greatest feats of setting I have ever encountered, and it took me 3 hours and 36 minutes to solve. Not a video that although we did see comments yesterday saying that some of you did want to see that video. I really don't think you do. A lot of it is me just sitting there with sort of my head in my hands, weeping at the fact I can't see what to do next. But anyway, definitely a brilliant puzzle. If you have a few, I was going to say a few hours spare. Yeah, it really, it could be at least hours. It really could. Now, what else do I want to tell you about today? Anything else? No, our competition for the month has just finished. This is Riffclown's Interactions. Mark and I have been busy recording the Soul videos for that, so they should go up on Patreon soon. So if you didn't manage to get through all of the puzzles from that Sudoku hunt, keep an eye on your Patreon page, and you should get a notification of some reward videos appearing in the next day or so. What else? Birthdays, other birthdays apart from Sue's birthday. Let me wish Colin a very happy 21st birthday over there in the Netherlands. And I know this because your best friend, I'm going to say Lewa. Is that wrong? Lewa wrote to us and said, Colin, it was your birthday, and I think almost challenged me to pronounce the name correctly. And apparently even Dutch people often get it wrong, because it's Leeuwe. So it looks to me more like Louis, but I think it might be Lewa. I'm not sure. But Colin, apparently you're having Vlaai today, which I did look up on the internet. It didn't look as good as chocolate cake to me, but I did think that if you put chocolate icing inside the Vlaai, it would be very edible. So that's my suggestion. And Colin, I hope you have a great birthday today. Other than that, Charles, I'm going to get this wrong. Darren, it's your birthday, isn't it? But you forgot your friend Charles's birthday back on the 30th of January. So I know the two of you are friends, but it's Darren's birthday today, and you both like the long solves, and you sort of bonded over those puzzles which you both try. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not sure whether this will be a long solve today. It might be if I get stuck, but it's meant to be, as I say, it's meant to be approachable. And Darren guarantees that he will be eating a lot of chocolate cake today. Anyway, Darren, happy birthday, and Charles, Darren is sorry about your birthday. And then finally, over there in Vancouver, Washington, not Vancouver, Canada, Vancouver, Washington, Mark has turned 61 today. Many happy returns. I know this because your wife Stephanie wrote to us and told us that you will be having spice cake with a lot of icing, but the icing will be peanut butter buttercream. Now that actually, I have to say, Mark, fair play, that is a good shout. That really does sound very nice. So Mark, I hope you enjoy your spice cake, and I hope you have a great birthday. Now, all that said and done, let's have a look at Cascade. Very short rule set today. It's a thermo Sudoku with no other rules. So we've got normal Sudoku rules. So that means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, in every column, and in every 3x3 box. And then thermos, along each thermometer shape, digits must increase from the bulb to the tip. So let's look at this one. If that's a 1, this has to be more than 1. So it could be 3. So you don't have to go up in linear steps. You don't have to go up one by one. You can miss out digits. You just have to make sure that just as mercury would rise as the temperature rises, so must our Sudoku digits rise as we move away from the bulb of the thermometer. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And the first thing I see here is there is roping a go-go in this puzzle. What is roping, I hear you ask? Well, I'm sure most of you know what roping is, but I mean that string there, in fact I think it's going to be all of these strings, but that's what catches my eye, because those squares can't appear earlier on their own thermometer. So imagine this square was a 6. Where could you put 6 in box 1 now? Well, it clearly can't be on its own thermometer because the thermometer has to increase. It can't be in its own column. So those 3 digits must go there. And this immediately creates this thing called roping, which leads to these pretty patterns you can draw. Because now by Sudoku, the green digits must go at the bottom of column 2. And then you could just repeat that trick. So where did those digits go in box 1? Well, they've now got to go over there because they can't be green because the green digits are all on the left. And then they go down there, and then we can do that one, and we can make very pretty patterns in the grid straight away. And we might have to, well, yeah, I was going to say we might have to repeat this trick over here, and we might indeed repeat that trick over there, but let's just take a pause and have a look at what's going on in these 3 columns, because there is something a little bit interesting. We know something about the value of this digit, and if you can see that's great. If you can't see why this digit is under pressure, then do pause the video. And for those of you who managed to figure it out, congratulations, to borrow a phrase from a YouTube channel I watch occasionally. Thank you, Agadmator. Yeah, so what I'm seeing about this digit is, look, it's got to appear on another thermometer down here. And that means that this digit, we don't know where it appears down here. Well, we do sort of actually, don't we? Because this is a complete thermometer. So that's got to be the lowest digit. So it's actually exactly there. But that's not even the point I was thinking about. Let me just red flash that digit now. You can see that there are 5 digits now in column 2 that must be lower than this red digit. So it's under a lot more pressure than you might think at first. You can look at it from this. If we just look at it in isolation on this thermometer, we would say it must be at least a 4. So we could fit 3, 2, and 1 earlier on in the thermo. But if this was only a 4, let's put 4 in here. You can see it breaks the world. It breaks numbers, because now we could put 3 and 2 in there, for example, and we could put 1 there, but we'd have nothing to put in these squares. So there actually need to be 5 numbers lower than the red number, which means that the red number is now at least 6, which isn't, it's not quite forced, but nearly. So if the red number is at least 6, it can be 6 or 7, can't it? Because it can't be higher than 7, or the tip of the thermo is going to be higher than 9. So we've got a 1 degree, we've got 1 degree of freedom along the green stripe. Let me just give this another. It might well be more. I mean, obviously those digits are now from 6, 7, 8 and 9. I don't know how we allocate the digits along the yellow stripe and the partial blue stripe. It would obviously be very useful if this was 6, because then we would know that these were 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But if that's 7, there's a degree of freedom in the yellow and the blue. Yeah, so we might have to move further afield. Let's have a look at, well, let's have a look. We've got essentially the same pattern, but with a sticky outy bit at the bottom in that thermometer. Although it's weird. We have almost got the same pattern, but it's slightly less pressurized, I think, because those squares, let's use purple, have to be there, because they can't repeat, obviously, on the thermo again. They can't be in their own column, which means they're down there now. And if we just pause there and take a look, you can see that now this digit, which must be the same as this digit, I was going to try and use grey there. That was a mistake. Let's use black. Now there are 4 digits that definitely have to be lower than this digit, not 5, which is what we had here. So this digit is at least a 5, but 6, 7, 8, yeah, but it's still under pressure. There's still only 1 degree of freedom along this thermo because it's longer than this thermo was. This is very interesting. So that's got to be 5 or 6, that's 6 or 7, that's 7 or 8, and that's 8 or 9. So that's now 5 or 6, that's 6 or 7, that's 7 or 8. Yeah, so now 9 in this column is in one of 2 places. Again, sometimes it helps with thermometers to remember that a 1 can only ever go on a thermometer in the bulb, and a 9 can only ever go in the tip. And you see, Mark would pencil mark these, and that may be a very sensible thing to do. I'm not sure. I'm just going to check this one. This one might be worse. Let's use orange. I've not used orange. So orange goes up there, orange goes down here. But now we don't really improve. Oh, yeah, okay, we don't really improve our lot in life by noting that orange has to appear on a little thermo at the bottom. But we do. This thermometer is just already quite restricted because it's 8 cells long, so there's only 1 degree of freedom along this whole thermometer. We can do that straight away. Hang on, I've just noticed I've got a quadruple here. Oh, yeah, okay. So that digit, that blue digit, has to appear. Could we actually? Well, it's an 8 or a 9, so it's got to go there, doesn't it? That's forced. It can't go earlier on a thermometer than a 6 or a 7. So it's an 8 or a 9. That gives us an 8-9 pair in both of these boxes, in fact. So that's got to be 7, that's got to be 6, that's got to be 7, that's got to be 6. Oh, this is lovely, and this is going to flow now, look, because that's got to be 5 by Sudoku, so that's got to be 4. Now these have got to be 3, 2 and 1, and we can rope them. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's got to be a 6, that's got to be a 5. I thought that was going to go further, but it stopped. No, okay, no, it did. It just stopped. I can't quite see. I mean, by orange logic, the 4 must be the lowest digit. So that's 4, that's 5. That's 6, so that's 5. Oh, that's the same logic as this. There's lots of similar logic going on here. There's a 7-8 pair, in fact, in that box, so that's got to be 9. That doesn't resolve the 8-9 pair that we've got in box 7. Okay, but there must be something more we can do here. This has suddenly opened up, hasn't it? Let's think. So, okay, yeah, I see. This thermometer here can't have a 1 in its bulb, so the minimum value of this digit is 2. But we have to keep this thermo leading up to a 5, so it's got to be 2, 3, and 4. And that means this is a 2, 3, 4 triple, and this is a 2, 3, 4 triple. We can knock the 4s out. Yeah, okay, now this one. So it's beautiful the way this is dancing back and forward. This digit has to be not a 1 or a 2, but has to keep the thermo below 6 by the time we get to this point. So this is 3, 4, and 5. And that's probably quite useful. Yeah, now we can put 1 and 2 in this column. So we now know this is a 1, 2 pair at the bottom. This is an 8 or a 9 because it can't be 1 or 2. In fact, where is the 2 in blue in this stripe? So it's got to be here, doesn't it? So that's got to be 2. That's got to be 1. 1 has to be here because it can't be in purple. This is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. These squares, look at this column. We've not put 7, 8 and 9 in, so we might as well pencil mark these squares. Where is 1 in this box? Well, that bulb has got to be a 1. It's got to be, it can't be 2, 3 or 4, but it's got to be lower than 5. So that gives us the 1 over here. We've got all sorts of things going on now. This is a 3, 4, 5 triple, the 5 of which has to go there. That's got to be the 4, that's got to be the 3. That's happening again over here. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so the 3, 4, 5, even though there's no thermo in these yellow stripes, they're still in the set. They're still sort of retaining their order. So that's got to be a 4 by Sudoku now. How do we unwind the 1s, 2s and 3s in the bottom of the grid? That 3 is looking at this one, so that's 2, that's 3, that's 1. This is 3, this is 2, and we're getting the same thing. So do we have it? Yeah, we do. So the 1s, 2s, 3s keep going down the grid as well. That's a 1, that's a 2. This is an, I want to say this is an 8, and I think it is. So 8 is now in these stripes. But we don't know much about 8s. There's a 2 here by Sudoku, there's a 4 here, there's a 3 here. So 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Alright, I'm going to fully pencil mark this now. 7, 8, oh, I would do. I've just lost my army by being completely inept at typing. So we're going to have 6, 7s, 8s and 9s over here. 4, oh, we can do 4 in the corner, not 3 in the corner by Sudoku, because 4 has to appear in orange. 5 has to appear in orange. So this is the 6 or the 7, and again we've got the striping going down the grid. Okay, let's double click. We've done all the 2s. We have, well, we can do all the 1s if we put that one in. Have we done all the 3s? Yes. We've done all the 4s? Yes. No. Yeah, no, we have. We have done all of them. 5s? No. But we can do. Oh, that's going to be a 6, isn't it? I presume. I'm saying that with only the justification that seems to be how the striping works. Oh no, so look at that. We haven't done nearly as well on 6s as with the other digits. So we definitely can't assume that. Oh, that's slightly odd. So so it's got to be something to do with the 8s and the 9s, I think, at the bottom, because the 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s have been sort of resolved at the bottom. So there's going to be some way that they're going through the grid and they're doing the top of the grid. Hang on. No, I was about to say I know where 6 goes in this box, but it actually has 2 places. Sorry, I'm suddenly stuck. What are these digits? Let's pencil mark them. 6, 7 and 9. That's not 6. So 6 is definitely down here. But and that can't be 9 because it's on the orange thing. The technical term for the tip of the thermometer is thing. So we've got 6, 7s, 8s and 9s everywhere. No, what I was about to say was gibberish, so I will refrain from enunciating that. Let's try. I don't know. There's something going on. That digit is different from this digit. These digits are the same. I mean, I don't think, I'm certainly not allowed to assume that we're going to get that this is this. I think this will be a 6 because the geometry of this puzzle I think is going to force it to be. But just because it's a pattern doesn't mean it necessarily follows logically. Oh, I see. Right. That's rather interesting. That's really weird. Okay. I can do it with this digit here, I think. If that's... yeah. It's weird. It sort of works by roping and thermo. If that's 8, that's a 9 by thermo logic. But if that's 8, that's a 9 in the row. And by roping, that's a 9. And you get, so if this is 8, you get double 9 in box 7. Which is very odd indeed. And I think there's going to be a different way of noticing that point. Let me just think about that for a moment. So this is a 7. We know that if it's 8, you get double 9. Yeah, it's just true. That's really lovely actually. I don't know. There might be an easier way of resolving this end piece of the puzzle because it has only got 1 star, and that feels like a sort of probably a 2-star deduction. But it's very pretty. It's very pretty. So that has to be a 7. Now, what's that going to do? I don't. Well, that means these are a 6-7 pair because we have not put 6 and 7. Oh, okay. So that gives me this square is an 8. That's a 7. Oh, that's going to work, isn't it? Now that's 9. That's 8. So that's 7. So that's 6. That's 6. That's 6 using our roping. That's 9. So these are 7, 8, and 9. So these are 7, 8, and 9. Ah, we've got a 6 here. So that is a 6. That's what we thought was going to happen. That's a 6. So that's a 7. So that, oh, it's lovely. Look at this. It does. It just sort of unwinds itself almost. We've just got to figure out the 8s and the 9s. So we might have more trickery to deal with. Let's just not rest on our laurels until we've figured it out. That's not 7. Yeah, but that 8's done. Yeah, column 2's actually done. So in fact, that probably is going to... yeah, that's going to help us finish the puzzle, isn't it? It's a beautiful puzzle. It really is. That is gorgeous. Is that right? Yes. Loved it. 1,000 people have solved. Oh, it's quite old. Okay, 57. Oh, I thought it was new. I didn't know it was quite old. 1,000 people have solved it, though, already. Well, I'm not surprised. I think this puzzle has already generated a massive positive contribution to the world's net joy quota, Scojo, and I hope it's going to do. It's going to give more joy now because that is beautiful. It's a beautiful puzzle. I mean, it's a great example of the power of roping, and that little thing at the end with this cell. I'd love to know if that's necessary. I might have a think about that after I turn off the webcam, because if that's necessary, that is beautiful as well. It's a lovely sort of trick in the tail. Let me know how you got on with this one. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.